ahead. My colleague Anthony here as well. So we'll go ahead and just kind of dive in. I'm going to move my Zoom out of the way. Perfect. So we're here to talk about the blueprint for success in the digital age with automated processes, strategic marketing, and superior patient care. That's a mouthful. So let's go ahead and just jump right into the details. So what does it really mean to define a successful blueprint? Well, first we have to identify what problems we are currently facing as business owners as we're trying to get off the ground, trying to find the best systems and software that serve our business, that help us scale our business, that help us grow while keeping stress low. But a lot of people don't realize that their problems to scale their business, to automate more, to provide a better customer service actually starts right away. And this is something that Kara and I really partnered up with her mastermind program, is to help people from the very beginning, provide them really a low cost entry point, and to help them think about the end in mind, right from the very beginning. So what's happening though is that people first will venture out and say, oh, I can't wait to get a website, right? And then, oh yeah, I need a business phone number. A lot of people end up jumping into Google Voice or what have you. And then, oh yeah, I need to start storing contacts and send emails. But right from here, these are probably the big three that people need when they first get started. They've already created a problem. What kind of problem? Well, let's just say you go out and you create a website in Wix, and then you've got your Google Voice number, and then you've got your active campaign, just to name a few examples. But wait a minute. What if you get a lead from your website and you need to enter them in as a contact into your Google Voice, and then you need to manually enter them, upload them into active campaign? Just that one person alone has you tripling the work, right? And if you think about down the road, all of your problems would be exponential. And so we want to start to kind of keep it cleaner from the very beginning and avoid manual work to make this a lot more seamless. And we know this all too well. My colleague Anthony and I have been down this road. We've been running a cash PT practice for nearly 6 years. And on the left-hand side of the screen here, you're going to see just a few of the examples that we went through that caused a lot of havoc. We first and foremost ended up going down the road of eventually getting a WordPress website that costed us way too much money. Every little change was $30 here, $60 here. We had specific forms we had to pay for. We had, we all ended up having our own scheduler that also may have like a different phone number. So that was our experience. We had a standard automated phone number, message that goes out, but we couldn't respond to replies. We had our own business phone number, similar to like a call tracking metrics, active campaign, lead pages. And not to mention, this was all very costly, but it was more so just chaotic to like keep track of where everybody's at. And this is just our example. I'm sure you may have a similar example as you're kind of reading through this now. Like we don't really think about what softwares or systems we actually are using and then how they kind of work together or don't work together. And the question that we ran into was like, well, which of these we're actually running our business, right? And I'll add EMR over here on the side. And I think a lot of people would say, yeah, EMR is running my business. Sometimes people are just scrambling. Maybe you're writing some client information down on your phone or storing in Google Sheets. And the questions continued, which of these are helping me manage and prevent, the clients from slipping through the cracks or leads slipping through the cracks? Well, I think most of you right now would say, I think Google Sheets are doing that. But we're like manufacturing Google Sheets to do this. I don't really think Google Sheets was made for the intent of helping you manage your leads and prevent them from slipping through the cracks. It's just something we've done because we don't know of any other solution. And we've tried it. I remember, giving Anthony a full list of people to call, and you could just hear his headache growing. Like, why do I have to call this entire list? I don't think I'm going to get in contact with half of them. I don't even know any information about them. And it really, didn't sit well with him either. And it wasn't productive for us at the end of the day. Just last question I would want to present to you is like, right now for you, which of these softwares are helping you manage the current customers you do have? How are you continuing to serve them, provide a better level of customer experience without adding any more of your time? You obviously can't clone yourself. So what can you do to provide a better customer service in a way that scales, right, by using better systems? And so after years of frustration, trial and error, which is why we really partner up with Care. We want to get the word out. We really feel like we've discovered a very efficient and effective method that allows us to provide vision over our entire business, helps provide an incredible customer experience without any more time. And that's a real big one that we don't often inherently think about when we're thinking about systems and software, but it absolutely can. And probably the biggest one would be easily observing the cracks in your business funnel, allowing you to nurture and convert more with the help of automations. And we're not saying, and I know it's kind of the robot era, that you give everything, to automation. We need your personal touch, but we need your personal touch at the right time and at the right place. So first off, we are working with business owners, just helping them be aware of the fact that you have a business funnel. Whether you realize it or not, you have a business funnel. And let's just say, even at the low level, you have 20 leads per month. For some of you, that would be a lot. For some of you, that'd be very low. So let's just kind of find a middle ground. And a general scheme of this is that someone enters in through your website, and then they should schedule a call, right? Just inherently is one example. But wait, X%, we'll just use the arbitrary number of 10%, don't follow through initially, right? This continues. Let's say the 90% get to that scheduled call, and then they need to actually arrive at that phone call. Well, shoot. And 10% might be low, depending on your business model, what have you, but still, that's a customer that you could be serving. And then as they continue on, do they show up to that first evaluation? Something came up, life came up, they canceled, what have you, and this continues. And these are really just 5 examples. Your business funnel is probably even a lot more elaborate, and truly it's more of a life cycle. But we've painted it somewhat of a linear fashion here through the pipeline, so you could kind of digest a little bit better. But you can see, this continues to add up. And so first and foremost, people aren't even aware that this is existing. And for those that are aware of it, what they are doing in our experience is that they typically just end up in like a standard newsletter or an email. And, that's better than nothing, right? If you're able to have some sort of a follow-up. But everyone's ending up in the same bucket. But these people require different conversations because they're at different stages of your business, right? So these people need messaging automations, encouraging just to take the next step. We're all busy. You've got a million things going on. We need to simplify this journey for your business, for your business and for your clients. This person just needs a unique message to reschedule the call. Let's just keep it simple and just take one more step, right? Next step, reschedule an eval. And from there, a unique message to reschedule that follow-up visit. The beautiful thing about this is that this will actually work as well in combination with automations and with you as a therapist. So we kind of dive into that a little bit more. So with this type of setup that we're proposing, so now Anthony, in this case, right, instead of him calling or having to go through 1,000 people on this ominous Excel sheet, I can come up to Anthony and be like, hey, these 10 people are extremely hot. I know that they've replied recently to an email, to a text. The automations, with some foresight and some thought put to it in the front end, they're now doing the heavy lifting. They're not doing 95% of the work. Arbitrary number, but you get the point. And now Anthony comes in there with good energy. He can provide even better customer service. If that's you, a solopreneur, you're a therapist, you're going to be doing that work. And now you have the energy to commit to that. What we're seeing a lot of solopreneurs doing is they're doing all of the work kind of old school, traditional, by hand. And then when they do get a hold of somebody, even, they don't even have the energy to have a good phone call. They're tired and they didn't leave a good experience for that customer. So furthermore from there, as we go back to our example, this is a unique messaging to encourage someone to schedule a call. So this is an example right here of the automations, email, and text with a high open rate, right? Reminding people to schedule that call. If they don't convert, we can then provide what's called a tagging system. We can get notified. We can say, hey, John didn't advance ever past this point. What do we do next? Do we want to reach out to them again? We tag them, we store them, so we never lose them. And just because they said no, they no-showed, they canceled, and they didn't respond to my unique message doesn't mean they're gone forever. There can be additional systems set up past that. Furthermore, as we advance, we can tag those that needed to reschedule a call. We can continue to get notified, whether it's yourself or your admin. You can literally set up systems that email you, so you can check your email and be like, who do I need to reach out to today, right? Where is everyone at? And you can create specific messaging to meet them where they're at. In addition to that, you now start to collect data. So if I'm using this as like a vertical bar graph, I might go, wow, we're really missing out at this junction here. Now I have data analysis and I can make action on that. So something's going on at this stage where we need to have a lot of people reschedule their eval. What kind of improvements can we make? And it's really about that analogy, like if you're in a stadium of 1,000 people, you have your megaphone, you just shout out an offer to everyone, right? $49, come on in, come work with me, whatever it may be, versus coming up to someone, having that private conversation with them, continuing to build off of the conversation you already had. What this will allow you to do is really grow and develop your business while keeping overhead down. And it's really important to me, got a couple kids, been through this. I want other business owners to really keep their stress low as you're doing this. You don't have to be glued to your phone, constantly checking it 24/7, constantly messaging people back. Let a system do more of the work for you. And then you can step in when you need to give that high touch, right? In other words, we're stepping in here because we've gone through the heavy lifting, learning all the automations, helping business owners really create this system, because we realize you don't have to be a tech wizard to run your business. We want you to really just be focusing on your business and your clients and provide a great service and really have the energy to do that. We all wake up, good days or bad days, you only have so much energy to dedicate to your family, to your life, to your kid, to yourself, to your business. So we want you to take the best energy to be able to apply it. And just, people feel good energy. We feel like the automations and systems that we've been able to help business owners with helps them do that. So we're going to open up an FAQ here shortly. I just want to kind of give you a little bit more information about what this looks like potentially for you. Anthony and I, having additionally, been running a practice for 6 years, but we see that so many people need help, just like we did. We would have killed for this if someone was able to step in and help us further analyze our systems and software, and also ask the question, is this scalable, right? Is what you're doing right now going to serve you if you want to hire 2 more therapists, 3 more therapists, if you want to franchise it? Because at the end of the day, you will need a system to be able to do that. You can't just do things your own way, and then some other therapist comes in and then you have to teach them what you've been doing. Well, that's not going to work because we're all different. We all handle things differently. But if you have a central place that is the way your business operates, that's what we can help out with. So what we've been doing and helping out business owners is that we would first provide an evaluation and diagnostic call for your business and your business efficiency funnel. What we need to do is first look to see how your business is currently operating. We need to see what areas you're currently struggling with. We need to see what that long-term goal for your business is, and really just start to reverse engineer that and say, is what you're doing right now scalable? And whether you're running ads, not running ads, just kind of getting off the ground, we still want to begin with the end in mind. Is this scalable? Is this seamless? Is this sustainable? Is this replicatable, right? And so what we've been doing is helping business owners by providing a unique, done for you, done with you, customized system specifically based upon their needs. A lot of business owners have different models. So we have to kind of meet you where you're at. We have to kind of see what you're already doing. Where are the leaks in your funnel, in your business efficiency funnel? And let's go in there and start to work on that, help you be aware of your business funnel and provide unique follow-up systems that are done for you, ready to go. And then you can step in when you need to. And our goal is to really empower you so you know how to run and manage your business. It's kind of funny. We worked alongside marketing agencies and like the dark side, people who will gladly take your $3,000 a month, but don't really care about your business. And then they want to create this dependency model too. That's the last thing we want. We want to go in there and provide you a system that not only helps you gather more leads, but also convert more leads for the lifetime of your business. And it's a big step that we're taking, but we have seen that. We're working with business owners. That is incredible when you really iron out where everybody comes through. Website leads, referral systems, doctors, Facebook ads, Google ads. You now know where everybody's coming from. You can tag them. You can see how efficient each and every platform source is for you. and it's almost limitless. But what we're talking about right now is just focusing on where you're at right now for your business and what your business needs. And so typically I just kind of be straight up with you. It really depends in terms of cost. If you'd like us to provide that diagnostic call and provide that fulfillment, we really like to dive in, provide that kind of proprietary system that fits the eye of your business, where you're currently at, how many leads, where are you at, right? I'm really stoked working with Kara because we've been able to provide a nice low-cost entry point for her mastermind program, the therapy builder program, and allows us to really curate that step where they're at right now and then slowly build up from there, which just makes a lot of sense. The software, we use an advanced marketing system called Go High Level, but we've built our own proprietary automations within it. We've utilized it specifically in the healthcare field for about 4 years now. I was trying to use Active Campaign. I remember this, and my buddy actually had this system, was just kind of toying around with it. And he's like, hey, cool. I just automatically sent someone this text if they clicked on this link. I was like, wow, that sounds really cool. It was like the first message I remember him saying that to me. I was like, how do I do that? I think I literally spent 4 hours in Active Campaign going through that. I would have to upgrade my program to get their business phone number, and it was just really messy. And from there, I was like, well, this makes a lot of sense for us to really rip the Band-Aid off, because we were pretty rooted in our software, but we saw in terms of our long-term where we wanted to go. We said this would absolutely make sense if we took 6 months, regrouped, and moved everything over. And it has saved us countless hours per week. It's improved our customer experience process. And now we're really helping out other business owners do the same thing. And a lot of the questions we'll get to is like, hey, what about what I have? Do I need to keep my EMR? It really just kind of depends. We're not going to force you into anything. We're really just using this to help you build your business. So it is a case-by-case basis. We're not going to force you into saying you have to get rid of that. You have to use this. But I think it's an extremely good option that up until now, people have not been aware of. And so that's why we've been kind of piecemealing and duct taping different softwares together, because that's all we know. And with the right mindset and right understanding how to use this very advanced software that's changing day by day, it is a game changer. We can kind of be a coach in some level to help you do that. And so we're obviously going to stick around, and Anthony and I will be here to thoroughly discuss any frequent asked questions. Just call to action here is comment systems. If you'd like to schedule a diagnostic call, we look at your business model. We just want to get to know you, what you've been up to, what your goals are, and then we really kind of work backwards from there. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. It looks like we've got some awesome chat stuff going on. Kara was responding.
Could you describe what a customer relationship management program or system is?
Yeah, and I think that definition is changing all the time. Specifically within High Level, it is truly built to be kind of that all-in-one, and they are making improvements every day. But it's really the best way to serve the customer. And you do that by kind of duplicating yourself, setting up automations ready to go, specific times, specific dates based upon specific actions. And so it's really best to serve the business so that it has kind of a central port. It's not a replacement for EMR. So I think that's a big distinguishment, okay? Especially for a lot of you in the insurance world, there are specific contracts with insurance to EMRs. We are no way in a position to strip you from that. But we are here to say, I don't think the EMR alone is going to run your entire business like this. Let's not get complacent or lack the understanding that alone is going to run everything. We can use this system. It's really more of an advanced marketing tool that's also becoming a CRM to house the entire business.
Could you talk a little bit about, like, for our therapy business builder level 1, how we are doing the basics? Because that might relate to some people in here that are just getting started, and then kind of talk about how we're tiering and how it might help people in different stages of their practice.
So I can say hands down, I'm stoked about the partnership and the model we were able to create for your therapy builder program. The reason is that we can give them a very low cost, because we talked about this at the very beginning of this presentation. People need a website. They need a business phone number. And what they don't realize early on is that they need a business phone number that has two-way text enabled. You will need to enable automated text messages hand down at some point. You will need email. That's also part of really what we're calling the tier 1 package that we've built for Kara's TBB program level 1. And so what we're able to do is really just give her owners who are just getting started, because everyone has to start somewhere. Why should someone have to pay for, I mean, I don't want to say any names here, but people are being charged $300 to $500 a month for not really receiving much of anything. And what we've been able to come up with in her program is to just give the people getting started really everything they need. Kara's been really kind to be able to provide her business owners with a replication of her website page. So you could go in there. Anthony and I have provided videos that show you exactly how you go in there. You can get your website off the ground just like that, which is crucial. And you'll also have a business phone number. You don't have to have your personal phone, which I think is kind of a mistake. I regret giving out my personal phone everywhere. To this day, I still have a few people that will text my personal phone first. And I'm like, no, you have to go through the business number. But it's just a really nice low cost way to get started. And then when you're ready, that's the other thing. When you have leads coming in, you're building up your business. We built out truly several models, several tiers, tier 2, tier 3, that allows you to grow, but really grow at your own pace. And even with the conversations I've been having with Kara, if they're not familiar with it, their heads are spinning. They're not really sure what's going on or what the best direction to take is. And so Kara's really been able to provide an environment of comfort, of clarity on how to get started and how to really get going, while we at the agency level can kind of keep your costs, really low.
Awesome. And then some people on here, here, Aaron has a good question. So Aaron, if you already have a website, how do you use it? Or the info in your product? Can the business phone numbers be forwarded to your phone, or do you need separate phone?
Yeah, great question. So what's really nice about this system is that we can create our own forms within the high level system that's specific to your business. And even within that, there's a lot of, we could have literally our own hour-long discussion on the type of website form that's on your business and what you do afterwards. That's how cool, complicated, excited, depends how you look at that. But you can basically create your own form and then embed it on any existing website you have. What that enables you to do is to create that specific follow-up system. So let's say, Aaron, someone opts into your website. It's a Friday night, 6 o'clock. You're out with some friends. You're like, I don't have to send out that email right now. I don't want to send them a text from my phone. So you would have a system set up to automatically follow up with them if they did not take action. So like we talked about earlier, typically I'll say we like to have some level of like, hey, inquire to learn more about my business on the website, like a nice small micro commitment. And then when they fill that out, if they don't take action, we like to put it within like 15 or 30 minutes as they're redirected to, like, let's say, schedule a call page. If they don't take action, and because we have our own calendar system similar to Calendly, we have our own version of that. So now, because it's in-house, we can track whether they schedule that call or not. If they didn't schedule that call in 30 minutes, we then follow up with an automated text and email saying, hey, I'm not sure if you dropped your plate, had to clean it up, forgot about something, the dog's barking, whatever it is, but just make sure you finish what you started here. Please schedule a call with us. That one extra action that's automated is game changing, because without it, people are either manually emailing or they have maybe hooked up like ActiveCampaign to it, or maybe it's built within their website platform where an email goes out. But I mean, first and foremost, an email open rate is low nowadays. Everyone's being bombarded with that. The text open rate is much, much higher. Goes right to that. We include usually a friendly voice message or whatever it may be. We can embed videos with that. They can feel like they can kind of get to know you right there and then. So it's kind of a long-winded answer to say, if you have a website built anywhere, it can still be incredibly functional. It's not like you have to put entire website over into high level or anything like that. If you have WordPress, not a problem. You can just embed the form, but then it pulls into this the CRM, this marketing management tool. You'll have the contact. You can store them in what's called a pipeline system that we briefly talked about earlier. So then you can tag them and know that that person came from a website. If they don't take advancements, let's say in the next 7 days, you could get notified. And depending on how you'd like to approach that, you could say, hey, this person filled out a form on your website 7 days ago. Nothing happened. What would you like to do now? Call them, move them here, store them for later, etc. And the second question Aaron had is, can the business phone numbers be forwarded to your phone? Oh, excellent. Yeah, so it's not in, the high-level phone system is not, as of right now, they're making improvements on it, but an inbound service provider, which means that you have a business phone number that forwards to a phone. So right now, Anthony is my admin. Our business phone number gets forwarded to his phone, so he can receive calls on the run and handle it that way. It's funny because you raised your phone up and it was blurred like you had a bad picture on that, but don't worry. So what's really nice about that is that you could just, receive calls, receive text messages on your phone, forward it to it. They do have an app as well, but I'll provide this to you too. And I'm not sure this is the group here, but we had someone who wanted a call to be forwarded to one of 3 different rooms. And I said, no, that's not going to work for you. This will forward to one phone number.
Can you talk about, or someone had a question, like, I don't understand what the system includes. And really, like, the system can include tons of different things. But it really depends on what you need. So I don't know if you want to go over all the different things that it can include.
Yeah, I understand that this almost could be somewhat abstract. I won't necessarily go through like our whole demo account. I don't really want this to be a demo webinar because it's more about how we use it to help your business. But it is a place to store all contacts. It is a place to host your website. It's a place to create funnels, landing pages. It's a place to track user engagement, what web pages they've been to you before, what interactions they've had to you before, if they've messaged you on Facebook Messenger or Instagram. It's a way for you to visually track all stages of your business in a customized fashion. So as we had previously talked about, a typical way and what we call our lead pipelines is, we store all leads here, and then we track how many of them have engaged, how many of them have scheduled a call. That in itself can provide some data and some analysis for you as a business owner to really see how well are you getting people from point A to point Z. It provides a lot of analytical data, and it really helps you to start to gather that and make better business decisions. And it's really that glue that holds the business together, which I think, quite frankly, is quite revolutionary right now, because it's been, and Anthony and I literally have lived it. As having gone through this process, there was really no one to guide us. It was just, hey, you need to create a funnel. All right, I guess I'll go buy lead pages for $80 a month. All right, you have to take that contact and move them over here. Well, I guess I need to connect it to Zapier. It's $25 a month. Like, we played that game. And so this system, which is making improvements all the day, has a high skill set in terms of learning it. It's really hard, I will say, if you just go there and you try to create it all on your own. So what we've done is really cut all that out. We're able to just jump right in there, see what your needs are, create what you need, and then educate you so you are completely in control. So that's really the best basic way I could educate you on what the system is. And if we need to have a deeper conversation about what that looks like, happy to have that discussion.
And I can give you an example for my practice. So when, and I've tested the waters with pretty much everyone. In fact, a lot of big name people out there, and spent a lot of money over the last several years. I was hooked up with Active Campaign, was told I needed to do the WordPress, different Google things, different Zaps with this and that, and all really confusing. So,
Right.
And a lot of it wasn't HIPAA compliant. And then you're being told, oh, this doesn't have to be, or this doesn't have to be, and so forth. So
Right. Yeah.
anyways, when this August, when we hired more staff and we started women's health, I knew I had to get a better system in place. And that's when we got set up with this system. And we actually use it with Facebook ads, which for our women's health clients, it's awesome. It's like basically switching on and on switch when we need more clients, and when her wait list is a month out, then we shut it off. But then it keeps track. So we get all of these clients, and I'm not very good at explaining it because I just tell them to do it and make it work, but you guys might relate with me a little bit. So when the people come in, we see all their names and their information and so forth. And then it sends like out automatic text messages to them on when they want to have a phone call to discuss the pelvic health assessment. And I'm sure it does other things, but then we just follow them all along. So when they schedule and we move them in certain charts, so we never lose people. And then we can continue to follow up with people, and you always have their name and their email and their phone number. And like say, sometimes we might not have scheduled 10 people out of our list of 30, but a month later we go back through and then we end up scheduling 5 more out of them. So we use it for that. We also use it for, like, I personally was tired of having everything in so many different spots. So I'm like, we're just putting our website here, so everything is in the one spot. We also use it for social media management. So I go into one spot and I make a post, and then it goes to Google My Business, it goes to Instagram, it goes to Facebook, it goes to LinkedIn, and I think it can go to maybe even more than that. So that's super easy. And there's a lot more stuff that it can do, but that's kind of the basic things. And now we're telling them about, like with Trisha and the pelvic health, how clients that schedule their eval are now going to get a text message with a video from Trisha, and you can explain that.
Yeah, that's probably some of my most exciting, some of the most exciting stuff about this. And part of it resonates around the idea that up until now, we've just been comfortable with a standard text reminder that is just like, hey, it's 24 hours till your appointment, or it's 2 hours before your appointment. But what Anthony and I noticed, because we were running webinar ads a lot around COVID, because our entire network just got washed away like a sandcastle. We were turning on the jets with Facebook ads. And we noticed when people watched our webinar, they watched the full 25 minutes, what a game changer for that conversation for Anthony, who was handling those calls, in terms of them understanding us, knowing that we're different and ready to work with us, cost really not being a problem. Versus if they didn't see a training, they didn't feel like they get to know me, then I was just another business shark coming at them. So what we did is we took that principle. We've now embedded specific customized videos in the customer experience every step of the way. So by the time they meet Trisha, Kara's physical therapist, they feel like they already know her. They already know what to expect for the examination. They're a lot more comfortable with her. They know that she has a great skill set. And now they're excited to work with her. Versus if people just get a 24-hour reminder and they come in, I mean, they're going to be checking out the spot. They've never been here before. They have to learn the new environment. They're not really even paying all that much attention to the therapist or the person, because they're just trying to get their groundings. A lot of people have been in pain, right, in the service-based industry. So what we call our content automation system is that we're able to really work with you, create specific videos, get you on camera, host the videos, and then drip those videos in, whether it be before a call. Hey, I want you to think about these few things before our call, which inherently reminds them, like it's already serving the purpose of reminding them, but it's also getting them to engage with me, engage with us, learn how we're different, and already taking those steps to working with us. So if they receive that video prior to a call, and what Kara was just saying prior to the examination, those are 2 really big touch points before they've even come in, set foot inside of our brick and mortar practice for that example. Same premise for mobile practice too. It doesn't matter. You could say, hey, I'll be coming over there tomorrow and in 24 hours, what have you. I just want you to know this is what you'd expect when I come in here. And just like anything else, if Anthony tells me, hey, let's go take a ride, if he doesn't tell me where I'm going, what do you think I'm going to ask? Like, where are we going? People want to know what's next, and they want to start to plan their head around that. So it also enables us to really utilize that content automation system. We could bring in our creative mindset, get you in front of the camera, and help your potential customers really start to get to know you and build up what we call that therapeutic build, which is arguably the most powerful thing when you help somebody else, which means they know that you care about them. That's really what that comes down to.
And like, there's someone on here that does driving rehab. And I was thinking, Joey, like, you could have one of these created that gets text out to people to give them a heads up on what to expect when you're coming to do that. I mean, we can do it for anything, but I was just thinking of some specific populations that seems like it would work well.
I feel like it really shines in the health world because we are all our own people, right? I mean, that sounds obvious, but we have our own way of, I should say we have our own experience depending on the grad school, the residency, the training, the courses. Our personality is different. So it's really the art and science melded together, and a couple of videos sprinkled into your standard automation system can really feel like they connect with you. They understand how you start to treat, and it really can make a huge difference, not just for sales. I know it's a business, but just for you to build up that connection with that person can help with word of mouth referrals and just create a lifetime customer, which is what we want.
And Joy, another thing that it can work with you, and obviously you'd have to work with Chad and Anthony on this, but it might be something to even run some different ads and get the word out more about what you do for the driving rehab, since it is more specialized. And then again, everyone that comes in from those ads, it's just going to funnel in to you. I mean, I'll tell you, when we turned on our first Facebook ad for the pelvic health, I'm like, holy crap, these people are flying in like crazy. And we had a high conversion rate, which was pretty cool. But it might be a way to bring more people or just get the word out more about your business. And
Right.
Might be a way to explore it.
I'll say one more thing, and I want to answer a couple of questions I see popping up here. Really, what Anthony and I have learned is that we had to master the ability to convert completely cold traffic into raving customers. We had to do it through ads. I mean, because we were in the heart of COVID. So that really sparked this entire systematic change for us. And what's really nice about knowing that is that if this system and premise and ideology can work to convert completely cold traffic, it can do wonders for those that were referred to you, warm referrals, what have you. So it's built really to help provide better customer experience for those that are coming in completely cold. So just kind of keep that in mind too. Oksana, so when you say form, can you give examples of the type of forms? Yeah, great question. So, and we actually have a form on Kara's website right now where it says inquire to learn more. It's a big purple button. You click on that and you'll see an example of a form. The forms are completely customizable to your needs. The classic example is first name, last name, email, phone number, and then sometimes it's like, hey, what would you like to learn about, what have you. Anthony and I have utilized this in a way where we have specific questions on our form, and when they fill out the answers on our website, we can actually redirect them to receive a different video or a different answer depending on what they filled out in the form. So that's a very powerful way. And the example I gave you earlier in that big stadium, instead of just shouting out one message to everyone in that stadium, you want to have that kind of hyper personalized message to that person. So in this case, if someone fills out a website form and I see they select back pain, it's like I go in, and if you can visually imagine this, like I grab, someone's hand and say, hey, come on over here and let me talk to you outside this loud auditorium and carry on that conversation. Hey, I see you're struggling with back pain. I'd love to learn more about what you tried for your back pain and how long you've had it. I think it'd be a great opportunity for you now to schedule a call with us so we learn more and see how we can help you. And that is kind of a form of an automation that takes place. So they already feel like they are getting to know me, albeit virtually, and it took no extra time. And then they click on schedule a call page. And then again, they get another video of me educating them on why they should schedule that call. So the form can be manipulated to whatever we need it to and embedded most typically on other websites. So if you have a website pre-existing, we typically will go in there and replace it with a high-level form customized to our liking. We can filter it out. And there's even a little bit of a science there, depending on what should go on that form, right? Depending on how much you want to filter people out or what the next step is.
The other thing with the form that I would like to do is, so with doctors that want to refer to us, but sometimes work in a system where they get in trouble with referring to us, or if patients have, like since it's HIPAA compliant, we should be able to establish a form where they can put in their information, health information, insurance information, and we collect that right away, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So
especially our non-medical home care companies, we work with a ton of them. So instead of all the hassle getting patient info, we're going to teach them just to go to this form, put everything in, and then it all comes over.
That alone will be huge. And that's a great example of the utility that even just a simple form can have. One simple implementation of that. And next thing you know, you're saving, shoot, even if it's 30 minutes a week, an hour a week, like time is a lot nowadays to be able to save that. And that's just one example. So Aaron, can this be used with Google Voice? Great question. So typically what we'll do as we're kind of getting started, we don't tamper with your business phone number. We respect that a lot. But what we would do is give you a new business number, trackable number, marketing number that enables you to have that two-way text capability. And typically we say, you know, if you're up and running and using the system for around 6 months, you really like it, it's working out great. But at that point, you've got your original Google Voice number, you have this other number that you've been working with. At that point, if you'd like to choose one number, typically it's your original. There is the ability to port, and that's actually what we did. We started on Google Voice, and we were at literally like 4 or 5 different phone numbers at once. It was crazy. And we condensed it down to one number. It was our original Google Voice number. It's traveled a long ways from us. And now it sits inside our high-level account. So all text messages go out to and from, all calls go to and from that. Unless there is the example as you grow, maybe you have a separate tracking number for, like, let's say Google ads or Facebook ads. It can exponentially go down that path for your ability to track success depending on the different platforms. But early on, we would say, you know, keep your Google Voice number. Let's also give you this new textable number. You can see how this works. And then potentially once you're really comfortable kind of getting settled in, it might be worth to port that in. Is it like Salesforce? Kinda. That's a long drawn out answer, but I will say this, and Salesforce can be complicated. What we're able to do is take a very robust system and condense it down to only give you the concentrated quote unquote dose of what your business needs. So you're not confused. We kind of put the horse blinders on, show exactly what you need. We'll teach and educate you that, and just kind of leave all the mess aside. So Salesforce is a huge, you know, kind of corporate-like CRM. The system we're using seems to have a lot more utility for the small business. And I know Salesforce can get really expensive. High level at its very most is $97 a month. And that's what we end up charging for people with, and they do get HIPAA. So there's no extra charge for that. We pay $300 a month to have our program HIPAA compliant, but we don't want to make other business owners have to take on that cost. How are we doing here?
Good. We have some good ones up here.
Got Julie here. I'm not clear on how it integrates with Google Workspace and Hello Note for appointment reminders. Yeah, so it is a little bit of a case-by-case basis in terms of how you're using Hello Note, if you're insurance-based. There is a world where it often can be useful to take some of your information from Hello Note and also duplicate it over into this marketing system. So it just depends on how you're kind of set up. For those of you that are like really ingrained in insurance, what have you, it's like we typically leave that alone. And we also might suggest, hey, go ahead, and it's probably worth your time to still add in that contact over here and do a little bit of a duplication. How it integrates with Google Workspace. So it depends on how you're using Google Workspace. We actually use Google. We're primarily out of network cache, so we just use Google as like our EMR. We've also learned additional advanced automations if we need to auto create like a Google Drive folder or a Google Drive document. It's a little more advanced. That's something we could probably help you out with. But really, Julie, it comes back to understanding what's going to be best for your business. And so we have to just make that call, assessing how are you using everything at this very moment, what your goals are, and then we really just reverse engineer from that. Julie, leads, people that might become your clients. All right, great to correct our terminology here. I'm glad you're saying that. Yes, lead is someone who's been referred to you, website, they filled out a form on your website, so-and-so said they call you, they came through a Facebook ad. Lead, yep. Pipeline, people you've been connected with that are are being paying clients. So pipeline is this set up this environment to help you track a staging process. So there's really 3 different pipelines we like to teach business owners how to use. The first one, as we've been talking about, leads. Where are your leads? And no, I really think we should kick Excel away. It's really not serving people well. There's a better way, and tracking it in a lead system is exactly what people need. Secondarily, current clients. So the big raging topics right now are you collecting Google reviews? Do you need to ask someone for Google review? Have they submitted a Google review? Are you looking for a video testimonial? Have you asked somebody? Have you received a video testimonial? Are you looking to write birthday reminders and have that really nice added touch and write a handwritten birthday reminder to somebody? That is a client pipeline that we advocate for that helps you provide better customer service because you know where people are at. Those are just a few examples. You could be a lot more creative and add on to that. And the third one, for those of you that use the terminology discharge, it's for those of you that, for the clients that have been discharged between 45 to 90 days is typically a marker we like to look at in the discharged pipeline. And then it's between like 3 months to 6 months and then greater than 6 months. And what that enables you to do, again, is create specific automations that follow up with people even after they've been discharged. Because now you know how long it's been, you can create specific messages that could go out literally on a Monday at 9 a.m. 6 months from now to someone you know who's been discharged and text them, hey, it's John from ABC Physical Therapy. I was just thinking about you this morning. I just want to check in to see how you're feeling. You do no more work, but because you set that up once, you might get a notification on your phone that John responded to you. And you go, wow, I forgot that text even went out. Sounds like he's doing good, but wants to come back in because he's struggling with some knee pain. Awesome. I'm going to follow up with him. And that is one example if I can not only collect more leads, but also convert more. So there's a straight up ad that would go to everyone, not just people that follow my page. I think the Joy was following up, I believe, with what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ashley wants to know do you offer the CRM to non-healthcare businesses?
Absolutely. So we've specialized in helping out the health world, but its application ranges to, quite frankly, any business. But it's one of those cases, if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. So we just know that within the health professional world, we can create that proprietary setup, but it's the same principle no matter what business you have, right? So we all want, again, people to go from point A to point Z in our business. We evaluate how your current systems are functioning, where are your cracks in the system, where are you lacking awareness, and then we really create that proprietary solution for you, using a similar principle, but just guided towards whatever your business is. I have my iPlume number. In fact, I'm printing on all my cards. That's fine. No, I don't want to create stress. I would say just leave it, especially the fax. I'm not going to take over your fax for sure, but just leave it. It's totally fine. There's always the ability to even add on to that. But if people are messaging that, if you want, you could still add them into your account. And I would say typically when we get you up and running and you have that secondary number, that alone will start to already contribute to the automation capability of bringing in new contacts, new phone numbers, new emails into it. So I know that can be stressful. It's like, shoot, I missed the boat. I already have my iPlume, but it's not a problem. We can give you a new number to get you up and running. Like I said, kind of a sweet spot is, hey, if you're really enjoying this is making sense. It's 6 months into it. You have that iPlume number, and then you also have this number that you realize has been working well. If you'd like, we can strip it down to one. And if that includes support, we can take care of that. Yeah. Can you review the pricing? So I'll lead with this. I think Kara has an excellent setup with her TBB program. I'm not sure if Oksana is in that or not. But within the TBB program, it's a one-time fee for $250 that gets you in the door, provides your own account. You get that number, you get the email, you get a replication of Kara's website. You also get, I forgot to say this earlier, the ability to schedule out Facebook posts, Instagram posts, like she was saying, LinkedIn, Google My Business. And I'll say this, we now have an integration with Google My Business. There've been a couple of times I got messaged that I would have never been aware to go check my Google My Business, but you can actually integrate directly into that. And when you do integrate, you'll now have that message feature on that Google My Business profile. And some people use that. I never knew that until I integrated that. So her TBB level 1, get that for $250. We also provide videos to support them and knowing how to use it, get going. As well, we're just now adding in how to set up your professional Gmail account, which works really well with that. And then from there, we're able to grow and progress into tier 2. I think literally in all my experience of having used this, that's one of the best hands down ways of kind of getting started. Ultimately, the software at the end of the day, when you get full access to everything, is $97 a month. But again, you pay no excessive cost for HIPAA. And when we were looking at, Anthony, the amount of cost, all of our different programs, we were probably $400 to $500 or more just with different softwares per monthly fees. Like we probably ended up saving $300 a month just because we were able to condense down into everything. And then I guess a big ticket I want people to think about is, if we're able to, I'm a math guy, so if we're able to bring in, let's say 10 to 15% more leads per year and convert 10 to 15% more simply because of this automation, and that lives with your business for life, is that worth it to you? I think it's a pretty fair and rough estimate, but also kind of showing the vision of where this is going and what it can do for you. So if you have, to keep the math simple, 1,000 leads per year, because you have automated systems that follow up with people and bring them in, I think 10 to 15 is probably really low that I think of it, but let's just go with that. All right. So you're going to get an extra 100 leads just because of systems working for you that you had thought of or hadn't run in place. And now you have 1,100. And then if you convert 10 to 15% more, what does that do to your bottom line for your business? How many more word of mouth referrals does that give you? How many more 5-star reviews does that give you? That's really, that's exciting for us because we realize that finally there's a system in place that can help out your entire business. It's not like this is just for Facebook ads or it's just for a referral. Like your entire business can kind of function through this. And if you get this right, that's what makes us really excited about it.
And just for an example, so like I said, I've used about anything and everything. But when I first signed up for the same system before I knew about Chad, I was paying $97 a month and it wasn't HIPAA compliant. And when in order to be HIPAA compliant, I would have had to pay $497 a month and add on $297 a month. And so I'm like, well, that's not feasible. And so then I was checking out other people that do just what Chad does. And some people are charging $300 to $500 a month for the exact same thing. Which obviously as small business owners, and especially those of us with Medicare Part B and so forth, I mean, it's just not feasible to do. No. And the other thing, when I first started, like I paid $3,000 to get everything set up. So it's pretty dang awesome. The problem is a lot of people that have their businesses won't realize the benefit of doing something like this until it's too late and then they're freaking out. So that's why we're integrating it now into our level 1, because we know if you start with this right away, everything's going to run much more smoothly and it'll minimize the burnout and the overwhelm that everyone gets as a business owner. So right. Something to think about.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I would say, I mean, just because I think we have one of the best setups for a new business owner where they can get started, working with Kara and our TBB level 1 is where we already have everything streamlined and ready to go. If you're not in a position to work with her, what have you, that's totally fine. What we can do is just set up a time to chat and see where you're at, see what you need. We try to come in as low cost as possible, especially if you're just getting going, but just at least give you the basics. So you set up at that first step in the right direction for your business. Yes. And like she just said, Anthony, how many years did it take us before we really kind of got squared away and rock solid?
3, 4.
Yeah. I mean, it took us a long time. And by then we had so many different softwares and the headache. And it's one of those things where we're just really advocating for people to get off to the right start as soon as you can. Let's go ahead and provide a nice low cost, making sure you get what you need, and then just kind of continue to grow from there.
Well, and realistically, it saves us money because we were paying for so many different things through other systems that it's actually cheaper to do all of this. And right. The other thing that we haven't even talked about is for those of you that are doing the 5-day challenge this week, I know he's really pushing like to develop automated programs or memberships or, selling things, you can do that all through this same system as well.
That's right. Yeah. So
There's
we even
tons
mentioned
more
it.
you can do.
We'll actually be probably getting your Kajabi set up and save you that $100 a month or whatever is going on there. Now we have our forms, we can integrate with that. So it's almost one of those things that Anthony and I have quite frankly struggled on telling people, because when you tell them that they get everything means nothing. And then it's like, hey, well, what about this? And so you have to kind of go through step by step. But it's more about the premise of helping people get off to the right start with their businesses. For those of you that have been up and running and maybe you're a few years deep, I highly encourage you to really take a step back and evaluate. We just get so busy, caught in the middle of our business day-to-day basis, our life. Just take a step back and think, how well am I doing in terms of my overall efficiency? Could I do better? Is this leading me towards the goals? Is this leading me towards scaling? Is this a system that I can, easily bring on more therapists to work underneath me, where I can easily teach them how to navigate this and use this? So it's more about helping your business, and this software happens to be a part of the conversation right now, to be quite frank. Whereas it's been just kind of piecemealing different programs together, and marketing it makes sense. Like if people say, oh, I need a phone, and they're in the grocery aisle, they go grab their phone, and oh yeah, I need a website, I'll go grab that. But then when they check out, they've got 12 different softwares. And then when you get home, you're trying to make it all work together and talk together. And unless you're a Zapier expert, which is another $50 a month professional plan, it's like, that's not even HIPAA compliant, like you were saying. So it's not really legally ethical to move data that's HIPAA compliant over through Zapier, because Zapier isn't HIPAA compliant. So it gets messier for the health professional world. And that's why when we saw that we could get the HIPAA compliance, that it makes sense, because we're able to help provide kind of this environment for other health professionals to thrive.
Awesome. Any other question? Oh, did you answer what is the name of the program?
Well, it's the Therapy Builder program, like in terms of like what you're offering. We are kind of flowing with that. We have a tier 1 specific program that rides that. Outside of that, we go into each and every business owner and work with them in a customized fashion and determine what they need.
Can you guys put your link in the chat for how they can set up an appointment with you?
Sure.
Julie was wondering, how do we connect with you?
I'll go ahead and just provide our emails right now.
Awesome.
If you find me on Facebook or Anthony on Facebook, I'm sure you can reach out.
Yeah, and they're in all of our different groups.
Okay, sure. Let's just go ahead and start with an email. Probably works out best. Yeah, awesome, Joy. Again, we've been burned by the whole marketing world. I think we probably all have at some point, the ad agencies and this and that. And say we've been through it, right? We've been through some thick and thin stuff 6 years in, and we've learned a lot. We've gone through COVID, gone through ads, kind of seen the whole spectrum of it, seen how it's all laid out. We feel like we're really at a good position now to go back, and we've got the technology, we've got the nerd stuff going on over here. We can see what your entire business needs, because it does take a skill set to kind of go in there and set some stuff up. We want to make your life easier, give you what you need, give you the wheel, and help set you on the path that, quite frankly, we wish we would have been pushed towards, but no one's really done that up until now, past few months. It's really just all happening right now, to be honest.
And you'll start hearing it being pushed out in a variety of different, because, a lot of people are trying to jump on the bandwagon in one form or the other. So, but just look, because I know some people are using it with their ad agencies. So you pay so much a month for them to run your ads, and then you get the system. But again, many of us don't need to run ads on a regular basis. And
Right.
Especially when you're first starting, all of us in TBV1 know that I don't recommend ads at all, because you have to get out there and start building your developing relationships and building trust and getting to know people and so forth. So, just be cautious, do your research. So
yeah, you're right. You're going to see a whole wave of this kind of conversation. And you're going to see ranges of $300 to $500 a month for what you'll be getting at the very most of 97. And for some of you, if you go through her TBB program level 1, you come even lower than that. You pay $250, kind of get a foot in the door. After 3 months, if you haven't progressed to tier 2, it's still only as low as $49 a month. So to my knowledge, it's really the best place to kind of get started. You can't really beat it. I feel really good about it.
Yeah, awesome.
And we're actually, we're of course able to help out any questions that come through the replay. So we'll just make sure that you have all the information you need. Again, if you even want to find us on Facebook, just Chad Coons, you can message me or Anthony. We'll both kind of tag together, working together to help you figure out what's best for your business. And it's been great, Kara. I just really appreciate you giving us an opportunity to voice this and kind of get this word out there. Anthony and I have been, just trying to shout at the top of the mountain, don't go that way, go this way. And we finally feel like we've got a little bit of a voice for that. Anthony, do you feel like we missed anything?
No.
Okay.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect.
Okay. Well, any last minute questions you guys have? And for those of you on the replay or watching the recording, just reach out to us. Okay. So that's a good question. So actually Will, who everyone in TBB knows, Will does some work with Chad, and then he's like, you two need to connect. And so then we had a meeting, and it just so happened that I had already, when I found out like what mine wasn't HIPAA compliant, and I wanted it to get HIPAA compliant, I was switching over to another agency that was HIPAA compliant. Then I learned about Chad. So then I switched over to his agency.
Right. Yeah.
Because I wasn't paying whatever a month in order to be able to do this. So
yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Well, I really appreciate everyone for being here. To be honest, it's not the sexiest of topics. Like, we all want to go to ads, and we all want to go to cool new TikTok reels and whatever the shiny new object is. But at the end of the day,
and selling products and membership courses, not that easy.
Right. But what we are doing is kind of doing the plumbing. We're going to go into the business, evaluate the funnels, the efficiency, do the hard work, and it makes big payments and dividends down the road. So that's what we're really here for.
Yep. Awesome. Well,
thanks again,
everyone. You guys all have a great day.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you so much. Take care.